Hello everyone and welcome back to Southern Wealth. I hope you guys are doing very well. As I've said, I'm now traveling and I'm actually in Europe for holidays, and I'll be here until October, working a little bit remotely, but basically being on vacation most of the time. So my updates will be a bit more irregular, and also in a different setup, so you guys are now aware of why. I'm actually in the south of Spain. Very good weather. Really like it here. It's been a while since I've been in Europe, so I have to say that I'm quite happy with it. Now, markets in general are doing, are kind of recovering the entirety of the Japanese drop. You still see bonds doing being stable and going up. You're finally starting to see some low volume typical of this time period within the month of August. So all the crazy volatility that we had and all the crazy volume in the beginning of August seems to now have subsided. Once again, once the expectation for rate cuts increases, the Russell does better than everything else. By the way, I had a comment about gold saying, oh, gold above $2,500. I said, congratulations. That is 50% of Peter Schiff's prediction about 14 years later. And you only need about $300 more to break even from 2011, adjusted for inflation, using only the government CPI. Forget about currency debasement, just the government CPI, which you should double to get the accurate number. But just say using the CPI, you still need to go between $2,700 to $2,800, and to break even from the 1981 top, you need gold to go close to 3,500. So, but I understand. Look, after so many years down in the dumps, we need to take, or the gold bugs take any victory that they can. And I also said, congratulations, you're almost 1-to-1 with Ethereum. You are $100 below Ethereum at the moment, but there's a big difference, which is Ethereum 10 years ago was 31 cents. So, it went from 31 cents close to $5,000, which was, by the way, Peter Schiff's gold prediction in 2010, almost within 7 years, because that was in 2021. So, but I get it. You take whatever victory you can. Q4, I think, has everything to be very bullish for risk assets. And I will say this regardless of whoever wins the election. I do still think that when we have the rate cuts, it's going to be a bit of a buy the rumor, sell the news event, because everybody has priced in the rate cuts. So once those happen, you're probably going to have some sell-off. How much and how long of a sell-off will depend on how quickly the market will price a further rate cut. So of course, if the rate cut is predicted for October, then probably you may have 3, 4, 5 days of sell-off, and then you probably continue to resume going up. As I've said, liquidity keeps on increasing, not on the Fed's side, but on the Treasury side of the US. We are quickly approaching $2 trillion of deficit this year, and it's not even September. So you still have a third of the year to go, and you're already close to $2 trillion. As I've said this before, and as you guys know, you're probably completely tired of me saying these things, but I've said that the Fed will need to cut rates, and I expect that they will be negative before 2030, but they will need to dramatically cut rates because, well done, the interest expense on the debt of the US is now the third largest item of the Fed's balance sheet. Of the Fed's balance sheet, sorry, what am I saying? Of the budget. So number one is, was it Social Security? I think so, but please don't quote me on that. Number two, I think was Medicare. Number three is the interest expense, and number four is military. So now the US spends more money paying for interest on the debt than the military. And we are only not even 2 full years since the first rate hikes came. So that should tell you a lot of what you need to know when I say that the problem is mathematical and not party related. Then, so I do expect some potential sell-off in September. I do expect Bitcoin to be above 80K at the latest by the end of November. A lot of liquidity is coming. The Treasury already has between 270 billion and $1 trillion of new debt approved and ready to go. You're gonna have the FTX creditors receiving close to $13 billion in US dollar, not in Bitcoin, in US dollar, very important. You have, of course, Russia and China turning a positive eye into crypto. You have the UAE, Saudi Arabia turning a positive eye. You have Hong Kong, Singapore, and Japan also taking a positive look at crypto. The US is a little bit dependent on who wins the election. If you have Trump, you have turbo bullish mode. If you have Kamala, you have maybe short-term positivity, completely misguided, hidden by what you can bet on an attack against crypto from her afterwards. I just need to say I find U.S. politics completely fascinating. I mean, you have Kamala Harris, which, a month and a half ago or so was the worst decision of Joe Biden in his entire mandate as president, was Kamala Harris. Her approval rating was the lowest as any vice president in history. That counts Dick Cheney, by the way, which is completely amazing. Trump is a threat to democracy, yet Harris is the first candidate for president who did not receive one single vote. And was basically, the idea was keep Biden as long as possible, so we kill the competition for a new candidate on the Democratic Party, and then basically make the debate as early as possible, so we all see how bad he is. So there's kind of a movement to replace him, and then you have another establishment candidate like Kamala. So it's terrible, of course, for the other candidates, but this is the political party for freedom, right? And for democracy, yeah, sure. Democracy picked by the elites. Yeah, there was a regime that fell in 91 that was very similar to this. It was called the Soviet Union. And it's kind of funny that one of the main parties in the US resembles so much the Soviet Union in so many things. You even have assassination attempts. But that's for another video. Now, with all the liquidity being created, once again, it doesn't matter if it's Trump or if it's Harris, you're still going to have a very good crypto cycle. Of course, with Trump, let's not beat around the bush. It's going to be crypto on steroids, basically. I do still think Bitcoin will end up at between 240 to 272,000 by the end of the cycle, 2025. And Ethereum somewhere between 25 to 29,000. And once again, we are in the second half of August, so we should start seeing some more regular and consistent appreciation in crypto. September tends to be a tricky month. Sometimes goes well, sometimes goes very, very wrong. I think probably it will go well, but then I think Q4 will be something really spectacular to witness. What else? What else can I tell you? I saw a prediction around meme coins being completely killed. I don't think they're killed. I think they had the best season so far within the cycle. They are taking a breather. The real ones will remain. The fake ones, the ones that were here just for the fad, or for even with kind of well-known frauds behind them, will disappear, and I think the good ones will have a major run at the end of the cycle. That I think probably is going to be really crazy, and I think it's going to be really, something to behold. I wouldn't put it past me that you see the first meme coin doing 100 billion market cap, one meme coin, and not the entire market, but one doing that. Which one's going to be? I don't know. I think Pepe is probably the most well positioned for that, but we'll see. I think before the end of the cycle, I think we're going to see some really big fireworks coming. Then, once again, remain focused on the forest, not on the tree. Liquidity is going to increase. Liquidity will keep on increasing. We have these time periods where crypto becomes very boring, when many asset classes, by the way, become extremely boring. But once again, look at the horizon. This is what I'm doing. I look at the end goal. I look at the end date. I don't get myself so concerned about, oh, this week is up, that week is down. Oh, that month is up. Oh my God, look at now. Now this exchange is being charged with, forget about it. It's not that relevant. It's more important. It's all about liquidity. If you bring down the value of the currency, risk assets go up. CPI can remain low. Most likely will remain low. And you can have asset price inflation to the moon. The best example that I can give to people, and I always say this, I always ask people, how many bear markets in crypto have there been? And they always answer me 4. Said no, the answer is not 4. The answer is, it depends. In Argentinian peso, the answer is never. There was never a bear market in crypto, because the currency has always devalued more than the crypto during the bear markets in US dollar. Once I say that, typically people understand the point. Well, by the way, I'm already seeing a lot of meme coins and meme stocks courses, and people talking about that, and people predicting. I think I saw a channel saying DJT to $2,000. Look, guys, I think we've all seen this movie over and over and over again, but there are all these new people coming. Be very careful and remain very cynical of people making these pie-in-the-sky valuations and these pie-in-the-sky predictions. And usually they charge you something for the ability to tell you exactly on the day what's going to happen. And usually this works well for 5% of people involved, and it works terribly for the other 95%. So be very careful with that. Saying that, enjoy the rest of your summer, catch some sun, swim in the ocean, relax, breathe. Liquidity is coming. And with that, thank you very much for your support, guys. Don't forget, drop that like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.